Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Dimitri and this is VIOFO Australia's project Auto Gear Reviews. Today we are talking about another competitor in the manufacturing of digital dash cameras on the market, the company called DDPAI. Yes, not the most intuitive name, but easy to remember. We are looking at their rather impressive product called N5 dual channel dash camera. It's a camera that is facing forward. It's a camera that has also an appendage that can face backwards. It's a 4K camera, dual channel with night vision capability, built-in storage, so not just reliant on the memory card that you put in, but also has built-in storage, built-in GPS log, and parking modes, as you would imagine. And most importantly, what I'm very curious about, don't know if we can test it, but it's good to point it out, microwave radar detector. Yes, this thing is supposedly going to alert you if it detects the microwaves that the speed cameras are emitting, whether they're handheld ones or whether they're installed ones. So I'm not encouraging you to speed and to feel safe speeding when you have something like this, but that is something that sets this camera apart. That's why you should keep watching, and that's why you should give this video a quick like. It goes a long way, tells me that you enjoy my content and brings more people to our lovely channel. Now, before we move on with the detailed review, this is going to be a detailed review of the camera. So welcome to the unboxing part of N5 dual camera of DDPAI. Let's see what is in the box. A nice little envelope that contains presumably the instructions, and maybe if we're lucky, I don't know, it's the first time we're opening this, maybe if we're lucky, even the memory card. Let's see if they've included it. Nope, they did not, at least not in this packaging, but this is just a real-time thing for you. You're discovering it as fast as I am. It has a couple of stickers of 3M sticky pads. You are instructed typically to put this thing first on your windscreen to reduce the electrostatic effect that the camera could have on the or interference that it could have on your car. Relatively chunky instruction manual if you are into reading instruction manuals rather than following a quick guide, but we're going to rely on common sense. This is part of the test that we're doing. I recommend you do a temporary installation first, not using one of these, let's call them semi-permanent stickers, you know, one of these 3M ones, and instead of that using something easy such as the double-sided cheap tape from Bunnings. I actually quite like the packaging of the box that they did over here. So we have the camera itself, which is not massive, and I'm saying it with respect, and actually I like that cameras are not massive. They are supposed to be hidden behind your, obviously, as I did with my VIOFO installation, they're supposed to be hidden behind the rear view mirror. However, some of them are much bulkier, especially those that have a screen. This one doesn't have a screen for you to see. It has only the lens. It has the placement for your power cord that goes over here. It has probably looks like a 3.5 millimeter jack. I'm going to put it on the screen if it's not, if I'm contradicting myself. I'm just telling you first impressions. It has still here an adjustable hinge, the angle adjustable hinge, which is the only thing you could expect from something that's supposed to be pointing forward. And overall, first impression is very, very positive. I think microphone slits and the speakers are here at the bottom, and it's like, it's solid. I am touching it and it's solid. And on this other edge, we have a slot, obviously, for the memory card over here, which is to be expected, but there is no SIM card, so I would have to use one of my own SIM cards, and that is something that you would have to use as well. So rear view camera, as you can imagine, comes with a long cable, because how else are you going to run this cable all the way to the back? So there is a folded one with a USB output naturally, and then there is also this edge to it, the one that you plug into here somewhere. It's just nicely, neatly folded. We're not going to be installing it right now. It's a bit lightweight, this camera, I'm going to say, and my guess is going to be, judging by the plastic nature of it and the size of it and the lens that's currently covered, I'm going to say this is probably 1080p at best. So that's where the plug happens when you're connecting the rear camera over here, yeah. Something else extra to point out to you, my friends, is that in the full original box that I've shown you of the N2 dual camera, there is no hardware wiring kit or the radar module. So it's a radar module capable camera to detect the radar, microwaves, all that kind of stuff. However, it is worth mentioning to you explicitly that it is a separate little box. Please check with the supplier when you buy from the website if this box is included with the original purchase, or if you actually need to pay pay extra for this module. It's definitely a capable camera. I have it over here. It's this really nice kind of separately connectable module over here. Just the mysterious black box that obviously has the smarts in it to pick up on that microwave kind of emission that it's going to detect and it's going to start complaining to you about, as well as a separate bundle of wires that has the special plug over here that will be fed into the engine bay if that's how you desire to connect it to your battery, and to make sure that it's a 24/7 monitoring, 24-hour monitoring around the clock of what's happening with your vehicle. So you can hardwire, that's a kit, and the radar module is a separate kit. I'm going to assume that it's supplied separately simply because in the original box that we've unboxed right now, there is no space for these things. They are supplied, and possibly is the keyword, check once again where you are, they're possibly supplied and purchased separately. To be confirmed, and that's on you to double check. Front-facing camera 4K, rear-facing camera. You can see the sample footage on the screen. I think, as it says on the box, 4K camera in this particular case does not disappoint. I think it's rather amazing. As far as kind of the lighting conditions and how it perceives the color on the road and kind of just in front of us with all this greenery where I was installing it, you can be the judge. I will compare it to my VIOFO VS1 mini camera, the one that I'm using. Just don't forget, keep in mind that VIOFO mini camera that I'm using is 2K and this is 4K. So of course DDPAI is much higher quality. I would dare say it's a much higher quality camera. The rear view camera, I didn't expect much from it, but as you can see, it's doing its job, at least to the extent that you would expect it to do. Once again, in case you missed the detailed installation, I will say only one thing that I go into detail on AutoGear reviews. It is a temporary installation. I never do it permanently, at least not for these kind of scenarios. So, and it explains to you how I went about it. We're about to go for a test drive as well, and I'm going to be driving and commenting as I go along. We're going straight against the sun. It's a very brightly lit day. And of course, there is a slightly dirty windscreen also between the camera and what it's recording. All that you're interested in is really the road conditions, what happened in case, because let's not forget, dash cameras are not just there for vlogging. Dash cameras are there to make sure that you can record emergency situations, that you can then provide accurate data to your insurer. So far so good. I think that the car is recording the number plates pretty damn well, especially if you exported this footage onto the big screen, not on your phone, and paused it, zoomed in if you need to, and that's what those people would do on the investigations of anything that's happening to you. And again, I mentioned it as I was unboxing the camera. I think I like that, like, you know how some cameras, such as the previously owned VIOFO, the one that I had, a VIOFO camera that was like a bulky unit with a built-in little screen. It could show you what you are recording. And on one hand, it's cool to see it right in front of you. So it's nice to see exactly what's being recorded. On another hand, dash camera is there as an kind of insurance enabling device. It is there to be hidden behind your rear view mirror. You shouldn't even see it, in my opinion. First of all, you shouldn't be distracted by any screens. You're not going to be driving safely and looking at the little screen of the dash cam, would you? So you wouldn't. All you need to know is that it's recording. That's why when it turns on, it says, "Hello, DDPAI," or whatever it says. So it's lovely, nice little, nice pleasant voice. And you know it's recording. That's all I wanted to do. But then when you need the footage, well, there is an app. There is an app, and now we're going to talk about that app a little bit, about the DDPAI. The VIOFO also has an app. It's also not perfect. Before we go into the DDPAI app conversation, VIOFO's app, for comparison, is also not perfect. It's also a little bit clunky on the UI. You need to disconnect from whatever other network. You need to connect to the Wi-Fi network of the camera, etc., etc. It will be that's what enables that. On DDPAI, I found the pairing mode of the camera probably among the most convoluted ones that I've tested over time on the dash cameras that I've tested and the smart screens that I've tested in the past. I found it one of the most convoluted ones because at one point in time other than the basic thing of you connecting to the network and stuff like this, it tells you to confirm pairing with the device. So, no, for safety reasons, to make sure that not some random person downloaded an app and connected to your thing. I appreciate why they're doing it. And of course, I would stand corrected very, very nicely. If you said to me, Dimitri, if you spent time and actually read the instructions, you would be fine, mate. And you'd be right. You'd be absolutely right. It's not on DDPAI in this case. It's on me as a user. But once again, I represent majority of average Joes and Janes who don't read that stuff. They expect this stuff to be intuitive. And if I expect this stuff to be intuitive, when it said to me, press the button above to confirm pairing, or whatever it says there on the app UI, I'm going to overlay here and show it to you on the side. Come on, mate. First of all, the app UI does not show me exactly what button. Simple screenshot, simple arrow, simple like screenshot of the camera with that little button on the side with an arrow pointing at it would have saved me momentary like kind of confusion. It would have saved me from that moment, but it didn't. So that in the moment it frustrated me. I was like, okay, obviously I need to press some hardware button, and that button is rather well hidden, let's be honest. I didn't see it straight away when I looked even at the camera, and I just installed it and I didn't see it, I'll be honest with you. And you will be confused too, but here I'm happy to show you exactly what button to press. Press this button when the app is asking you to pair it. So when it asks you to pair it, you press that button and off you go, it's okay. Then further you do all these manipulations with the app and it's okay. Now, this moment where the app gets stuck, seemingly stuck, trying to connect, and then it even shows the arrow as if it has not connected properly. I attribute it to already existing Android Auto connectivity with my built-in wireless connectivity to the Subaru Outback infotainment system and all these electronics that's in here. That's what I attribute it to. It happened to the other electronic devices that I've tested in the past. I know what it is. I didn't decide to unpair my phone and go through this yet again. I'm just acknowledging it here that if you're having any issues pairing the app with the device, make sure that first of all you unpair whatever else is happening. It's inconvenient. I wish it wasn't there, but that's how a lot of these devices, a lot of these things work, not just DDPAI N5. And also another kind of reassuring, hopefully, fact for you is that even though I got that error, even though it didn't seem to pair properly, even though that happened, okay, I still got all the footage in the app, not even on the card. I could still see in the interface of the app that it has recorded something, and it has given me all these opportunities to make sure that I have very nicely recorded everything, you know? So that's not a problem at all. What else? So let's summarize, my friends. We're driving still, but why not start summarizing as we drive to save us both the time? I like DDPAI N5, and I apologize to my lovely sponsors here, DDPAI, for horribly pronouncing the name of their brand. Quality of the unit. Again, I had it only here for, I don't know, maybe coming closer to an hour installed in the temporary installation. So only time would tell what the quality of this thing is over time. However, overall, in the hand, as I was installing it, as I was applying the hinge, it's all very solidly built. Nothing is creaking. It's not flimsy. It's not cheap. It's not plasticky. I'm not going to say cheap, but I'm going to say the only sense of hollow, kind of a bit light in the hand and kind of, you know, not super solid comes from the rear view camera. Rear view camera does seem like a very soft, kind of definitely not shock proof or anything appendage that you probably would do well to be careful when you're installing it. It's not gonna crack in your hands or anything like that, I'm not suggesting that. But it's a bit more hollow and a bit more plasticky. That's the only thing I can tell you. Connectivity with the app was the only point of temporary frustration, which again, we spoke about in greater detail now, and it was all resolved, it's all fine. As you can see, the sample footage, it all comes through, it's all fine. But they could have done a much better job in terms of indicating in that allegedly redesigned and much better version of the app that now you can download from you know, Google Play Store and Apple Store, presumably. They could have done a much better job, specifically on the moment where they say to you, press the button to confirm connectivity. They needed to literally put it in that whole white space of that app. It frustrated me in the moment, and it still frustrates me because I know just how easy it is to fix it. It doesn't even require any software change to the app. Just put a screenshot there with a little arrow pointing at the button that the user needs to press. Done. No confusion, everything is sorted, everything is great. And that was the only thing I have to say about it. Everything else seems to be rather standard. I can say to this camera right now, take photo. There you go, you heard the shutter sound. And on this positive note, I'd like to say that DDPAI N5 is a lovely product, solid enough, very impressed with it. I hope you were too. If you liked this video, found it educational, entertaining maybe, perhaps, just give it a like, it goes a long way. It takes me a lot longer to put these videos together, it really, really does. Thanks again for watching. I'll talk to you next time about something else, essential car electronics related. Goodbye for now.